going on, everybody? It's A Squared, the writer with Principal Stovall with
What up?
the Blackboard, a podcast based on education. Last time we talked about the importance of education, and today, if you really took that point home, now we're going to give you the rewards from it, and we're going to give you three different rewards, three types of rewards of pursuing more education. So I'll turn it over to you, Principal Stovall. And I think the first one we talked about was the reward of personal growth.
Yes, sir. So if you look at this, family, from a perspective of from like kind of like a three-pronged approach, kind of I talked about before in a few podcasts ago about what I do at Fruitvale. It's kind of the same thing. If you're talking about the reward, you want to look at the inner part, the outer part of yourself, and then how does that function into the world itself, right? Mm-hmm. So first, if you're looking at personal growth, that is the first reward of education you should always be striving towards. What is the personal growth you're looking at, right? You're not going to be able to help anybody unless you help yourself first. If you're not coming to any space as the best version of yourself, then what are you really doing is my question. Mm-hmm. What are you doing, and how are you going to be able to help the next man or woman or the next child, right? So first and foremost is personal growth. Second, if we're talking about that outer portion, it's the relationships, right? Because again, like as I said, like you're not going to be able to help anybody unless you've helped yourself first. So now it's building those relationships. You got your romantic relationships, right? You have your family-oriented relationships. You have your career choices. You got your friendships. But those relationships, if you're doing the science, you're doing the knowledge on yourself and how you can relate to people, there are definitely ways that you can foster and that importance to that reward, right? Like, it might seem like, oh, education is just one of those things that's just it's an institution. Go back to the first podcast, we talked about the difference between school and education, but this is really about how this helps you in your relationship. So that's the second tier. And then the third tier, I think, is where people like to start. Even, when we were kind of thinking about this, when I was thinking about this with A Squared before, we kind of started here, but actually this is where it should end, is your career path, right? You cannot make a really informed choice about what kind of career you're going to have unless you understand yourself first, unless you understand how you work with other people, right? Because it, like, for example, I'm in education, but I know the science on myself. I love to read. I love to, watch different types of podcasts, right? I like to integrate my knowledge with, the relationship aspect. Like what is it? Sun Tzu's Art of War. That's one of my favorite books. What is it? The 48 Laws of Power. Like that's another one of my favorite books. I'm reading this book with my wife right now about energy and how energy manifests itself into different frequencies. Those things definitely all shaped my career path. So like my career path is something that I would do for no money. And that's funny to say, but that's where you want to be, right? That's the reward of it. When you have done the science on yourself, you don't want to be going to a job every single day that you hate. Or if you do that, you also want to be able to counteract it with something that you love, right? Mm-hmm. Because that's the way that it should work. Like you should be aligned. Everything should be in alignment. It shouldn't be so disjointed where it's like, oh, I don't really see what the importance of any of this is.
Exactly.
A Square, what you got to say about that, man?
No, it kind of correlates with I was doing some reading. I forget what it was. My mind be all over the place, but it was about pyramid of life. Like, what's the core essentials of life? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does it take to be a fully functioning human being? And so, in my personal opinion, I was just like, like we had talked about, I believe in a higher power as well. You know what I'm saying? So, at the base of that pyramid, you got your spiritual health, And if you're spiritually strong, then that affects your mental, your brain, right? Then after that, you got your emotional health. And then that where you know at the peak of it, which everyone sees, you know what I'm saying, the tip of the iceberg above the water is your physical health. I feel if you work on all four of those areas, you know, day-to-day basis, Monday through Sunday, you're going to be a healthy person, like straight up. Now notice I didn't say perfect, but you're going to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? You still got to deal with the ills of the world. You know what I'm saying? You do. But overall, you're going to be healthy. So if you got a problem at, you know, what's going on at home or at work or, you know, in your social life, because you're spiritually strong, you're going to be mentally strong. If you're mentally strong, you're going to be able to control your emotions. If you know what I'm saying? And then then you're physically fit. So you're going to feel good every day that you get up. You know what I'm saying? People don't know. I don't think people who don't work out, I don't think they really understand the power of working out. And it's a very rewarding experience. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think you have people that's gym rats and that's just like fitness crazy and everything they do is fitness? Because it makes you feel amazing. And then for some, it makes you look amazing as well. You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of like the pyramid of education in my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? That bottom base layer is the personal growth. And then after that, that's when you got the relationship, you know what I'm saying? That's when it empowers you when it comes to relationships. You're more educated you are, the more you can, you know what I'm saying, cohabitate with different people. You know what I'm saying? The better you'll be in a you know, romantic relationship, because you understand when you educate yourself, that's showing a level of humility to get more education. So you know you're married. You know what I'm saying? You know it's not all about you. You know what I'm saying? It's about your wife as well. It's 50.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to lower yourself and give more attention. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about that balance. And then lastly, your career. You know what I'm saying? What do you do as far as, you know, making money for yourself? Or you just trying to make money? You could go work at McDonald's and make money. You know what I'm saying? You could go collect cans, walk up and down the street with a shopping cart, collect cans. You know what I'm saying? But is it something that you love to do? You know what I'm saying? And you know, educating yourself. You know what I'm saying? But it starts with knowing who you are. You know what I'm saying? That's that personal growth. Once you get to that last stage of what you want to do in your life, you know what I'm saying? And you'll end up being one of those people that say, you know what? I love what I do.
You know, it's funny, you know, you were talking about that glacier aspect, you know, what you see first. The first thing people see is physical, right? And everything else is not seen. Like you don't really see the emotion or the mentality or that spiritual prowess, right? You don't see those things. All you see is the shell, the temple, right? You see that first. And, you know, it's funny because people don't know our history, but, you know, that's how we met. We was in the gym. Getting it in, you know what I mean? And that's
it's Bayfair.
Bayfair 24-hour fitness.
The homie Barku introduced us.
Barku, shout out to Barku, man.
I remember when I remember Barku left, and then me and you kept working out. We went in the exercise room and started doing a bike workout. Like it just that nigga, the energy was just off the charts, and it just
off the charts, man.
From day one, we've been cool, man. So it's you know, it's you know, but the thing was I learned from you. You know what I'm saying? And like you tell me all the time, you learn from me. So there you see it if you're watching this podcast. Education. You know what I'm saying? Empowering. You know what I'm saying? It starts from within. And then
each one teach one.
Yeah. And based on the slogan of the brand, educate and inspire through action. Educate and inspire through action. So, you know, another solid discussion, man. You know, next time we're going to give everybody the resources. We're going to give you some resources to viewers out there of how you can educate yourself. So until then, you know, we're never going to get tired of saying it, but educate and inspire through action. And you know, and look out for others. Look out for others in these trying times we're going through right now. And until then, man, y'all be smooth. Take care.
Peace.